So I'm James Lyle. I play Dr. Thomas Alden, the Chief Medical Officer of the Starship Phoenix. There was an open audition call that I saw on one of the actor call boards in Seattle. It said they were looking for actors for a new Star Trek fan film series, and that's all it took. That I was there as soon as I saw that. So I came to the open audition, not knowing what to expect. Is this going to be a room full of? Is this going to be a couple of geeks with a camera in their basement, or is it going to be something, interesting and legitimate and fun? And I knew it would be fun because it's Star Trek, but when I got to the audition and started to meet some of the people and heard what happened, and then when I got cast and I saw what some of the material that was starting to come out and met some of the other folks, I was completely on board, because this was a serious group of dedicated, talented, professional, interesting, fun people who are all doing this as a labor of love, and that was just irresistible. Dr. Alden, he's an interesting fellow. He's the Chief Medical Officer of the Phoenix, good friends with the Captain Avari. They've known each other many, many years, but have been through some tough times together and apart. He's an Englishman, comes from a long line of doctors. I imagine that he grew up in a sort of a big, empty manor house in the southeast of England somewhere, with portraits of hundreds of old Aldens, doctors, all spanning back 200 years. So he comes from a bit of a posh background, but has been a little bit of a rebel. He's been described, or was described initially to me, as a cross between Dr. McCoy, Tim Gunn from Project Runway, and Stewie Griffin. So when you get told something like that as an actor, there's nothing better, right? What more could I ask to work with than that kind of a combination? And what an interesting sort of guy to put onto the bridge of a starship. I am definitely a Trek fan. I grew up on Kirk and Spock in syndication. I've seen every episode of network television Star Trek ever produced, and all the movies, of course. So I'm a pretty big fan. It's been a pretty big part of my life. I know only a little bit about other fan productions. And I've looked at a few things, and there's some very interesting stuff out there, and I've been impressed, frankly, with the dedication and the scope of what some of them are trying to achieve. So I don't know if I can, credibly say how Phoenix is different from other ones. I think that what Phoenix is trying to do is very ambitious. I think we're taking on a scope here that's very interesting. I think we're maybe the only series that's taking the Star Trek story farther forward into the future, beyond what we've seen in Next Generation and Voyager and Deep Space Nine. We're set 42 years into the future, beyond the last Next Generation movie, which would be Nemesis. So we have a I think, a very occupy a different place in that ecosystem, because we're assuming another 42 years of history that's as yet unwritten. So it gives us a lot of freedom to play around with the near-term future of the Federation. I'm hoping that fans will like it. I'm certainly very excited about it, and by me, the ideal outcome, you know, I love for great things to happen and for Phoenix to be able to go on and on. But you know, what primarily I want to do is make something that the fans are going to appreciate, and appreciate enough so that there's interest and energy for us to keep doing it and keep go on and tell the rest of the story, because we've got a lot of great stories to tell. A great part of the experience for me in participating in Phoenix has been the opportunity to develop characters and do some of the writing. That's been very gratifying, to be able to tell the stories and to make the characters and the words take shape. It's also provided me a forum to conduct my apparently one-man war against the gratuitous science fiction apostrophe. Someday, I hope, they will be eradicated entirely, and the only apostrophes we will see in science fiction names will be ones that have some reason to be there. But until that day, I will soldier on, bravely, single-handedly, if I must, until they're gone.